Welcome back to my coverage of Geneforge. Sorry about earlier. Apparently my OBS was being retarded and didn't recognize the window being open anymore. And it created a bunch of little problems. But anyway, let's continue where we left off. Your character will not be able to get through every zone. Some regions require mechanic skill, others require battle. If you keep getting killed in one area, try another route. There is a huge stone wall just ahead. It's still intact, and its soft lights grow inside. Your skin tingles. There's more shaper magic inside. Walking on dry land is refreshing. The strange essence canister continues as work changes, and your strength is slowly returning. Defeating foes and finishing quests gives you experience. When you get enough experience, you gain a level. You have gained a new level, and you can now train your character. This will help you survive the battles ahead. Please press the train button to begin training. I have already done that. You immediately recognize the large building for what it was, a shaping hall. There had to have been one of them on this island somewhere. Here, Shaper's designs use magic and force of will to make creations, both utility and battle. Amazingly, this building is mostly intact. Shapers build things to last. You see energizing pools in the side chambers. Holes in the ceiling allow light to shine on them, keeping them alive. The goo inside each pool is semi-living, essence-charging algae, capable of drawing energy from the air and the sun. If you stand near a pool, you will be able to replenish your health or essence depending on which pool you select. In the canisters in the hall, you can see two glowing glass canisters. The essence mixture churns and glows within, ready to give you power. I'll pick that up first. This canister can shape you and improve this ability, Heal. Heals damage taken by a single character. Each extra point of this skill increases the amount. Yes. Gained a heal spell. This can shape you and improve this ability. Create Foya. Allows you to create a Foya or Cryoa. Your fire shaping is high enough. Each extra talent of the skill increases the level of these creations. Yes. To survive in... Okay, this is... To survive in... you'll probably need to make creations to fight for you, especially if you are playing the Shaper. When you use the canisters in the first shaping hall, you will learn to create a Foya. A Thyra. Frioya, or whatever you want to pronounce that. A small fire-breathing lizard. To make a Froya, you need to at least one level in the fire shaping skill. Happily, you start with this. Each creation has a minimum shaping skill needed to make it. To make a creation, press the plus button on your roster, and you'll then spend some of your essence to make your servant to improve its skills. The more essence you spend on the Friora skills, the less you will have left to create more of them. You can create up to 7 servants. When you spend the essence to make a creation, you can't get it back until that creation dies or you reabsorb it. The Friora. Friora is one of the first creations a novice shaper learned to make. They are easy to shape, easy to control, and effective defenders. Because they are so simple and foolproof, outsiders often assume that the original design was easy to make. It was not. Creating a Friora took decades of careful work. Thousands of generations of salamanders were warped, always taking care to maintain their reliability and simplicity. They are far from the most powerful creation, but there is a lot to be said for ease of use. The Froya is a small, fierce lizard creature. Its sharp teeth and large glands in its throat give it the ability to spit globules of flavoring saliva. The Froyas have an excellent mix of melee and missile capability. So basically, those little spitting dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, only they spit napalm. Okay, I need one more fire shaping before I can make Cryora. Extra fire. Base level 2. 1. Skill with this type 1. Total. Okay, I can create a level 4 Froya. And I like how it actually showcases the monsters here. That's an improvement from the old game. You just had a list and you had to consult the instruction PDF to figure out what was what. Okay, yep, I'll create one of them. And one more point of strength. Increases melee damage by 5. Create more point of magical skill. Increases the effect of all magical point by 0.5. Extra health. Active abilities. Fires a cloud of fire at a single target. Turns it to a cone. Basically, eat yourself for a damage boost. That's powerful with certain characters, especially ranged ones. If you want to make it, but okay. More of a melee fighter. Yeah, I'll have it melee just to keep it away from me. I'm a shaper, so it's quite likely that it's not going to survive too much longer. Hey Kiki, what's up? Cat saying hi. Isn't that right, Kiki? You too. Yes, I just petted the damn cat. Okay, and I think that's all my essence. Yeah. No, I can only create a level 5 anyway. Control level, poor. How strong your control over the creation. The higher the number, the worse the control. The effects, the chance of the creation fleeing or going rogue in combat. And perfect shaping skill improves control. Having lots of creatures or creations of higher level than you reduces your control. I'll risk it. But I only create one. What's the... Secrets of Essence. Essence is replenished by the green bar to the right to your main... is represented by the green bar to the right of your character's graphic in the roster. Use Essence to make creations and cast more powerful spells, like healing. When you spend Essence to cast spells, you get it back by returning to town or by approaching an Essence pool, like the one nearby. However, making creations reduces the maximum amount of your Essence pool can have. If you have a total of 30 Essence, for example, and you make one Froya which costs 10 Essence, then your new maximum is 20. You can't get back the other 10 until your Froya dies or you absorb it. It's up to you whether you make a lot of weak creations, a few strong creations, save your essence for spells, or mix of the three. Geneforge makes all these options viable. Okay, that's a health. Okay, I actually could make him stronger. Which I can do. I'll give him a little bit more health. Create another one. One magical, one physical. Let's see how this plays out. Keep some essence for healing. I guess that. You find a sign that the evacuation of the site was not completely orderly. There's a body here, barely more than a skeleton. It's been here for a long time. Based on its garments, you think it was a shaper. Most of the body's clothes and equipment have rotted away, but there are a few items still intact. Spores. I'll replace the sword. Okay, why can't I use a sword? Okay, I need a higher melee weapon skill. Oh, that sucks. That's different. You used to be able to equip anything based off of if you just had the weight to carry it. Well. But being a shaper, melee isn't really what you want to be in. You walk down the path and you feel an edge. Your shaper's training has left you attuned to sensing certain sorts of magic. Hostile creations lurk ahead. Might be a good idea to make your own creations to aid you. Okay. Okay, that's how I go without fighting anything. Because it is entirely possible to beat this game and not kill anything or anyone, including the so-called the big enemy. When your fire dies, you can rejuvenate yourself by using the pools in the shaping hall to the west. How to fight. Choose these buttons to select your current attack type. Melee or missile. Select the space your character stands in to attack. You may find out you may be about to enter a battle. During combat, you and your foes will take turns moving and attacking. You can leave combat when your foes are distant or dead. To attack a foe, select the space it's standing in. To use an ability, one of your abilities, press on the ability button. Okay. There is a foray standing the path ahead. It's a very common model creation. Shapers have made them for centuries to serve as bodyguards, watchdogs, and even pets. This one, however, doesn't seem to have the usual expression of servility and obedience. It doesn't look at you with fear or respect. Instead, it's drooling, as if it sees you as food. You've heard tales of creations which have turned on their creators and have gone rogue, which is only rarely happens. But when it does, the rogue is instantly destroyed. The Fourier here spent years free of shaper control. It bares its teeth at you, daring you to step forward. The Fourier continues to block your path. You can see the shadows moving in the ruined buildings ahead. It's not the only creation working here. The creation stares at you with a confused look on its face. It bares its teeth. It isn't fully rogue. It might be able to exercise some control over it. Alright. You concentrate and extend your will, attempting to pacify it. The confused beast, the beast shudders and snarls, but it can't shake your control. You stare at the fiery beast in the eyes. It looks down at the ground, demoralized. The sense of calm spreads through the ruins, judging the other creations. Your leadership skill is high enough to calm the creations. You get experience for this, but you won't get experience if you return and kill the pacified creatures either. Alright, I turned them friendly. This was a storage wellhouse. It still is, but now instead of housing useful supplies, it holds old trash and rotten sacks. On the counter west, there's something useful remains. There are several thorn batons. Most are dried up and dead, but this one looks like it's still alive. Thorn batons are one of the Shaper's most ingenious creations. They're a mix of living and inert matter. Plants, mixed with a touch of animal, grown in a metal frame, capable of firing long, sharp thorns at high velocity. When unused, they go into hibernation and can live for a very long time. Most of the batons abandoned in this room have died, but one managed to survive. A thorn baton is a type of weapon. When you equip it and attack a foe, it'll shoot a thorn at it. The baton contains 6 shots. If you fire it, it'll empty. It will automatically reload with any thorns you have in your inventory. I can sell those. How much damage does this do? Cat. The javelin is more powerful. But cat! My tea! Fuck! Hold on, everybody. That's why you don't get up on the computer, 6 minis. No damage, though. No real damage. Sorry about that. My cat basically crawled on front of the computer screen, tried crawling on top of a magnetic mini case I have on a table next to my computer, and proceeded to knock that case over onto the computer desk, onto my cup of tea, and all over everything. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing, is cleaning up and checking my minis for damage. So, yeah, a very, very good day. No real damage to the minis. Some chipped paint here and there, as there was metal and plastic minis that rolled around. It's magnetic, so most of them held, but a few, the glue didn't bond as well to the magnets I'd like and rolled around. The scariest one, though, is the shelf where I have my GW Skaven on. I had a few 3rd edition Bull Centaurs on the same shelf, and those dislodged. Let's just say having a big metal mini on a tray with lots of fragile tails um, got me scared for a second, but as I said, no damage on to anything. At least nothing that a touch-up of paint can't fix. The cat's fine. The tea was mostly cool by the time she spilled it. It was probably no more than like 85 degrees or something like that. So that's in Fahrenheit. So she's fine. A bit startled and glaring at me for her freaking mistake. Seriously, you know better. Yeah, I see you glaring at me. Like she's surprised I had something to drink there to get her wet when she fucked up. Cats. Anyway. I really apologize for the dead air and all that. It's just I needed to clean it up, make sure the cat was all that. You enter the ruin of a quarantine hall. It is not entirely abandoned. You see another fell creation in the far corner. A thin, mangly Thrad is leaning against a pillar, barely recognizing its surroundings. The bones of its prey litter the floor around it. A pathetic creature, but dangerous. If you keep your distance, you might be able to slip around it. Some encounters can be evaded with stealth. Foes only notice you if you get close. A question mark warning will appear if you're close enough to being noticed. Raise your stealth skill to reduce the distance they can detect you. Each round, your character gets a base of 8 action points. If you have any action points left, you can do any action. Doing things consumes action points, and when you are out, your turn ends. Moving and doing actions uses them up. Moving a space costs 1 point. Using an item costs 5 action points. Attacking or using an ability costs 9. When you are next to a foe, you can only move 1 space for the rest of your turn. To end your turns early, select the space your character is in or press the space bar. The order in which characters act in combat is determined by their speed. The more agility and quick action a character has, the faster it will act. Armored weapons are heavy. Heavy equipment reduces the number of action points. Increase your strength to increase what you can equip without penalty. This was a quarantine waiting hall. People wishing to enter or leave Sukia Island through this port waited here to be questioned and inspected by the servant mind. And sure enough, the mind is still here, rest to the north. You marvel at the skill of the shapers who shaped these remarkable creatures. They are given remarkable lifespans. The thing is still alive. The servant mind is a very specialized and useful sort of creature. Once grown, it never moves again. It spends its life in a stone crib made to fit it. Once there, it spends its entire life thinking, remembering, analyzing, and advising the shapers. As you approach, you see the creature struggle to rouse itself from slumber. It seems likely that it's eager for company after all these years. You carefully approach the servant mind, unsure how its long solitude has affected its brain. Fortunately, its eyes are clear and bright, and its body appears to be whole. It has a massive lumpy skull characteristic of these creations. Welcome, Shaper. I am Mind Tavit. It says reflexively, reading from an eternal script centuries old. Do you wish to pass the quarantine? What do I have to do? Allow me to inspect you carefully. If I judge that you have no threatening affections or concealed rogue creations, I'll unseal the door to the north so that you may pass. Are you alright? You've been here for a long time. I am functioning properly. I can still do what I was made to do. You don't mind waiting here for so long? I am functioning properly. I can still do what I was made to do. And I was not made to have other thoughts. I'm eager to assist you third. Do you wish to pass through the quarantine? That is what I asked before. This mind must have very limited programming. What happened to this island? Why was it barred? I am sorry, Shaper. I'm limited in scope of my knowledge. When I was left here, I was given no further information or instructions. How long ago was it? I do not know. I've spent all that time here in hibernation. Decay of my internal organs indicates the time is well over a century. I'm sorry I cannot be more precise. How long has it been since someone came through here? You're the first since I was abandoned. I do not know. I only know as little of its purpose, but I know nothing of why it was left here for so long. What was the purpose of this island? Research. Not the most useful answer you could have hoped for. Okay, let me through. The creature looks at you carefully and makes a low, soft humming noise. You don't feel anything, but you suspect some sort of magical augmentation is allowing the creature to analyze you for a minute. Eventually, the noise ceases, and Tevet says, I find no reason to impede your progress further. He exits the door open as you approach. That is all. Thank you, Shaper. I will rest and conserve my energy. On this side of the quarantine hall, you can see another flock of Ornoks watched over by a Servile. Serviles are one of the greatest Shaper creations. They are the most common and valued servants of your people, intelligent, hardy, obedient, and featuring hands with opposable thumbs. They are also easily controlled. If there are Servile here, this island must not be as savage as you feared. Serviles are weak and easily cowed creatures. If they were any real threat, they would have been quickly wiped out. Your emergence from the hull, clearly the last thing the Servile expected. He looks terrified at first, then curious. He leaves his flock behind to run to speak with you. He probably wants fresh orders. The Servile boldly walks up to you. You inspect each other. It seems to be the same design of creation which you're completely familiar. Same hunched postures, number of limbs, so on. It looks very surprised to see you. However, it doesn't look to have the attitude of immediate obedience you've come to expect. It seems more curious than anything. After a few awkward moments of staring, it speaks. I don't think I'm mad. I don't think I'm mad. It's a Shaper. A Shaper has come at last. Oh, it's been years, years since anyone came through that door. A Shaper has come. This is so wonderful. Oh, but where are my manners? I am Timo. Uh, I am a shepherd. I graze my Ornoks here because nobody comes here. Oh, I must go to, Vakiri. I must tell my people a Shaper has come at last. Tell me about Vakiri. It's our humble village, he points east. It's that way. Not far. Not far. I should tell them a Shaper has come at last. Our home is humble and small, but with no ship around, we did what we could. Do you know why this island was abandoned? I have no idea. You should go to Vakiri. There are many other wiser than me. I should, go there now. They should... No Shapers among us. There are no Shapers here? Timo grows even more nervous. I do not know. You are the only one. You are the Shaper. You have returned, and we can serve. He seems somewhat reticent about saying that last word. If you need food or a safe place to rest. Though you may not be a Shaper, but a guardian or an agent, all three sects are generally referred to by the outside world as Shapers. I'll be moving on then. A Shaper steps out of your way, completely unsure what to do next. His entire world has just changed in a moment. Now you cross this zone, it has been cleared. You'll be able to pass through it in the world map. If you don't want to, if you want to review your notes or remind of your current quests, press the journal button, and you'll be able to review special items that you have found, dialogue you've recorded, codexes you have learned, and quests you have been given. This is the end of the tutorial. Now you can travel east of Akiri and start learning more about what it is that's been happening in Sukia Island. And hopefully begin and find your way off of it. Okay, that ends this section. And, just gonna quit a quick break here for YouTube.